Just starting off with some team news ahead of Manchester City. Any injury concerns?
Yes, we had Ricardo Pereira obviously out for the United game, but he's doing really well. Hopefully we can get him on the training pitch with the team today and tomorrow and see if he's ready for Wednesday.
With the international break now over, just wonder where do you think this team is at as you still look to continue to battle relegation? Because I imagine there's a bit of time for reflection as well as planning for the future.
There's always time for reflection, and of course in this period was a long time, extra long. Of course, we know we have one target, and that's to perform every second that we're in this league, whatever the circumstances are, whatever the situation in the table is. That's what we were doing and will continue doing. So that won't change. Of course, we have a great run of games. It's a privilege to be able to plan games against City, Newcastle, Brighton, and Liverpool, for example, the 4 coming games. I see it as a privilege. I see it for us. Okay, we're in a battle, we know, but we have a squad, and the players are doing absolutely everything they can to be the best they can be, together with me and the staff. We'll continue to do so, and it's a great challenge. You know, we're facing and we're trying to do the best we can, and starts Wednesday.
You talk about the challenge ahead and the fact you're looking forward to it. Do you sense that atmosphere among the group as well? Does it still feel upbeat, and is there that confidence, do you feel, to continue in these games?
But can you imagine when you're a player and you can play Manchester City away, what the feeling will be? So okay, we are in a battle, but you know, everybody's looking forward to these games. I mean, this is the 4-time Premier League winner in a row. They're in the semi-final of the Cup again. They're battling to reach Champions League football, but most of all, they've been a dominant force in England and in Europe for many years now with Pep. So it's of course, when you're not looking forward to these games, then something is wrong with you.
With the international break, I just wonder, have you been able to work with some of the players who maybe didn't go away, a few maybe who haven't played a lot of minutes, just from memory, the likes of, say, Harry Winks or Ollie Skip? Have you seen kind of good signs, positive signs from them, and I hope that they could look to break into the team soon?
Yeah, of course, we carried on training because we had 14, 15 players still here, and we had less players away than we had in. So we had a big group. We added there the young players that are doing really well. Also Jerry Monga, Jake Evans. So among others that had a good week with the first team. Yeah, everybody had a good week. After that, some time off and picked up again last Thursday.
We've seen the change of formation in the last few games, which I know you said after the United game you saw a few improvements box to box. How will you decide ahead of the City game whether you continue with that or whether you revert back to the different formation?
No, I think the Chelsea and the United game there were enough signs to continue with that. I think it's good to also give that more time. Formation change is not something you're going to flip around, in my case, week after week. You have to get players, let them get used to it as well. There's a new role, Patson Daka. Of course, Luke Thomas, Connor Cody. There's different players that had an opportunity in this formation, and we continue to build on this. Of course, we have to do better in situations, in moments in the game, like against United. I think the first 2 goals were incidents, were moments in the game, and we could have done better there. But overall, we created more chances. We should have scored 1 or 2 goals for sure in the United game, also against Chelsea. So let's continue to build. We've invested again time in the training pitch to do so, to develop it, and great challenge to do so Wednesday.
And just finally from me, Ruud, looking ahead to City in particular, talk about how they're 4-time champions in a row in terms of the league. What have you made of their kind of season so far in terms of kind of their up and down results per se?
Of course, but when expectations are that high, of course they deserve that as well because of their results in the last 8 years with Pep. So yeah, when then the sky high, the expectations, when things are not meeting those expectations in modern day football, and it's all bad. You know, that's how it's been seen. But of course, when they're battling to make it into the Champions League, they're there to do so. Also in the semi-final of the Cup, they go to Wembley, they can make another final and win a trophy. So I see a team that is with new signings in January that is in a rebuild, and with Pep at the steering wheel, you know it's always going to be quality. So I think teams go in waves, you know, and players go and new players come, and I see City in that phase now where they're rebuilding towards for the better, and you see that development.
Hi, Ruud.
Hi.
Given who you are and your history, what sort of reception do you expect at Manchester City?
You're referring to my playing days, and I'm not thinking. I have to think about the question because I'm not thinking about it.
Do you get hostility from Manchester City because of your playing history?
We will see.
You never experienced it before, though.
No, not hostile. No, but you know, I'll take it. I take it as it comes.
As a former striker yourself, with Erling Haaland, it looks unlikely that he'll play. And by his standards, he's had a difficult season. Is it very difficult as a world-class striker to keep that heart and that confidence?
How many goals did he score so far this season?
Yeah, he's scored quite a lot.
How many?
29.
Yesterday scored his 30th in all competitions. Come on. This is what I mean. So 30 goals. He's the best striker for me in the league. He's proven it. He's won everything possible. He's a class act. He's A quality and A mindset, best of the best. He's at an age where he will continue with that mindset and with that quality. He will be performing, I expect, for many more years, and he's obviously signed a extremely long contract, and well deserved so, and he's obviously one where City's building around. You know, with a guy like him, when you have that in the building and you keeping him, you have a guarantee for 30 goals, and he apparently played a bad season. So can you imagine what happens when he starts to play well? He scores 60 or 70 maybe. So no, he's a pillar in City's current team and in their future. So yeah, nothing but praise for him from my side.
You've had a chance over the last couple of weeks in the international break to spend some time with the squad. Going into this game, what do you feel is their appetite at this moment in the season, and what's the mood in the camp?
The appetite is to perform, because the way we are training, we're doing everything we can to get the maximum out of our squad. I see it in training. It's intense. It's sharp. Of course, you look at results, and again, there we go again. You know, when you lose, you're bad. When you win, you're great. But I don't see it like that. I think that we're doing everything we can possible. We have an appetite to perform, to show ourselves in the best possible way. And of course, we have to do better sometimes, and et cetera. But the appetite is there to show ourselves, and we have to produce that on Wednesday again.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Ruud. Good to see you. In terms of the international break, what were the key aspects that you wanted to focus on and worked on performance-wise?
Oh, as I said, we invested a lot of time in the shape, defensively and offensively in the different phases of the game, from low build up to the final third, and in defending from high pressing to box defending. So all those phases we had time to train. Also the physical part, but that flows into the tactical and technical sessions. So we all planned that well and worked out well. Saw some good stuff, some interesting things in training. So physically we were able to recover and to put extra work in with many players still here. So yeah, were good weeks.
You talked there about a few moments ago the difference between winning and you're good and if you lose you're bad, and etc. But you are in a position now where if you don't start picking up results with other teams around you, you could be relegated in the next few weeks. Are you confident that results are coming regardless of I guess, performance?
Our focus is on doing the best we can, and that gives us the most chance to pick up points. We're desperate to pick up points, but it's tough. It showed that it's tough for us to win games, to draw games. There's few results that we picked up among Ipswich and Southampton are in a similar situation where you have to deal with many disappointments. But obviously then it's important to stay on the process and to stay motivated to keep working and improving, and I cannot ask more in that sense. You know, you cannot ask more than maximum effort, maximum performances in games, and then quality will be shown, and quality is shown in results. That is the reality. So I'm not saying that the situation now we have to be desperate, that we're not putting in effort anymore. Why? Of course we're going to put in effort. Every single minute we're going to play, we're going to put in the effort, because it's our jobs and we want to do well, all of us. And sometimes you lose and you couldn't have done better. Sometimes we you know, the first game here we won against West Ham was 3 points. It wasn't deserved. We didn't deserve to win, but we won. But that is football. And the Spurs away game was great and stuff. So we continue our bit.
In terms of your messages to the players and how you portray that now, it is in the proper, if you take a cliche over the business end of the season, if you like, because clearly they will be aware of the situation as well. How do you even have to talk to the players about that, because they will be aware of it?
Of course they are aware. I don't need to. We talk about it on a regular basis, how to deal with being in a situation like this, where you don't pick up enough results, but doing everything you can to do so. So then you have to look at the process as well, not only at the results. So we're looking at, okay, what happened in the first and second goal against United? What went wrong? What happened to the chances we created? You know, what could have we done better? And what have we done well to limit the amount of chances United created, and how we created our chances. So those are key moments in the games that you analyze. And you evaluate and put it back on the training pitch and do better next time.
In terms of Manchester City, with the change in formation, how do you best effectively deal with their threats to give yourself the best chance of going there and picking up a result?
Yeah, it's important to look at their threats. Within our formation, you're gonna trying to limit the threats and look for opportunities yourself. We did that against Chelsea, who had the wingers, pure wingers on the outsides. Had a similar shape in play, and that's how we approach Chelsea, and it will be a similar approach possible against City.